What's up, YouTube? So check this out. I'm 25 years old, and basically I have ADD. And yeah, so it's been really hard on me, especially for the last 4 years, because I started a business 4 years ago. I'm 25. I started like right after I turned 21, and yeah, so it's made it stick out even more. Probably similar to those people who go to college and then find themselves struggling with ADD really badly because you're like suddenly put in a situation where you need to stay focused and be organized and be consistent and all that stuff and achieve goals and all that thing, sort of thing. Anyway, so check this out. This video here is to tell you what I've been doing that's really helped me with my ADD. And let me tell you, I'm sort of like an expert on I'm sort of become a little bit of an expert because I didn't just sit there with ADHD and be like, oh, this sucks, bro. I have ADHD. Like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? It's like I diligently have been out there every day, all day, talking about it. It's all I ever talk about. With my girlfriend, I was like, oh, I'm so distracted, like, da da da. It's all I ever talk about. It's all I ever think about and, like, been obsessed with trying to figure out how to, like, stay on the ball and get over this. And so far, the best thing that I've come up with, and I've tried everything there is, trust me, I've tried it all, okay? As far as things other than taking medicine, I've tried it all. I'm not going to try medicine. I did like 40 hours of research on medicine to try and, cancel out whether I should or shouldn't do it, and I've decided not to. So, here we go. I'm just going to quickly get to the points of what I do that's helped me, and I really want to share this because I'm pretty sure that it would help most anybody who tried it, okay? So check this out. Basically, the number one thing that helps me is staying reminded. I forget so easily all kinds of stuff, but staying reminded of my goals, of my important things that I must do is huge. Like I can easily forget that stuff, and as important as it is, I don't care what it is. It can be extremely important. I can still easily forget it, especially me like having a business and always having to do all kinds of stuff. So I've come up with a way to stay reminded of all these things so I don't forget them. Sometimes I write them on little pieces of paper and they get slipped over here, slipped over there, and then before you know it, I forgot all about the task. And then someday it's gonna come up and it's like, hey, this was due, and it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. Anyway, so I've basically come up with a way to stay reminded, and what that is, I carry 3 pieces of paper in my pocket and I remind myself every hour by reading what is on these 3 pieces of paper. Yeah, you might say to yourself, but that's going to take 5 minutes of my time every hour. But if it costs me 5 minutes every hour to be on the ball and to be happy and no longer be miserable from being so far behind, and just ADHD can make you pretty darn miserable. Like you keep forgetting things and you keep just not doing what you sail out to do. Like, oh, you can't bring yourself to do these things that you must do on a regular basis. Can't stay consistent. If it costs me 5 minutes an hour, that is freaking worth it. I mean, I'd pay $5 an hour to not have ADD or to overcome some of this stuff, whatever. So it's totally worth it. And one thing that I really think that people with ADD just should admire and really try to build it into their life somehow is to get discipline and to want and admire discipline and consistency. Those two things, basically, if you had discipline and consistency, you kind of really wouldn't have ADD. So, like, if you can somehow admire it and want it and look up to it and make that your goal to eventually be disciplined and consistent in what you do, I think your ride with ADD would be so smooth that you wouldn't really care about it anymore and you would be satisfied. So, at least for me, I know that's true. So here goes what I do. I carry in my pocket 3 pieces of paper. One piece of paper is my schedule for the day. The other piece of paper is a list of priorities that I want to get done as soon as I can. So that could be, I want to get them done this week, I want to get them done this month, I want to get them done as soon as I can. Just things that are important that I should not forget, that I easily forget, because there are so many things for the adult that are important that for me, I can't remember them all just like off the top of my memory. And because I'm so busy always just doing something, I need to stay reminded of this stuff. So yeah, one piece of paper just has my schedule for the week. second piece of paper has my priorities, and really what it is for me, my priorities is sort of like a list of things that I plan to just like things that I plan to do this month, you know, and I don't want to forget that that's my goal. So I have like basically my goal for the week on one paper, and then my goal for my goal for the day on one paper, and then the priority paper has sort of like my goal for the month, the week, like just like things that are important that I want to do this week and this month. And then the third piece of paper is like a list of sentences and quotes and just things that I've told myself that I wrote down that are very important, that every time I read them, they really inspire me to keep going and to stay with it. And they are just like very good things that for someone to tell someone that has ADD, like if some, you know, it's just very helpful. And so every hour I have my alarm, my phone goes off. I have my alarm set for every hour. So like it goes off every hour. So once an hour, my alarm goes off and I read those three pieces of paper. It takes me about 5 minutes to do, and it's totally worth it. Also, as soon as I'm done, every hour, as soon as I'm done reading those pieces of paper, I do a little workout. I would really like to work out 30 minutes a day or something, but I just can't bring myself to do that, at least not right now. So what I can do, and it's very easy to do, is a simple workout every hour. So every hour my alarm goes off, and I pick one muscle to do in a day, because as someone with ADD, I'm like, I'm gonna work out my arms today, I'm gonna work out my back, I'm gonna work out my chest, I'm gonna work out my, and then I don't wind up doing anything. So like I'll be like, today I'm doing my arms, and every 1 hour after I'm done reading my three pieces of paper, I'll do like 24 reps of one arm, or 24 reps of one exercise. And then throughout the day, I've done it so many times that, hey, I'm all sore as if I worked out for an hour. Screw half an hour. I'm like an hour's worth sore. So yeah, it's great. And then yeah, and then so that's what I do. And so I'm gonna go and then something else that I found that's pretty helpful for someone with ADD is, I don't know if you know this, but you can have, if you have you can make a Gmail account, you can make a Google account, and you can have Google send you text message reminders to your email, to your cell phone, whatever you want, and it's, well, whatever your text plan is, you know, however it's going to use up a text message, but you can have it remind you of stuff, and you could set it up. I think for every task you give it, for every like event, whatever you write, you can set up like 5 different reminders. So you can say it's like, pay my credit card. Say if your credit cards are due on the 24th. Say, I always will lie to myself and say they're due on like the 21st. So I'd be like, credit cards due on the 21st. That's what it'll say. Boom. That's what it'll say. That's what the text message I'll get. And then I'll have it remind me 3 weeks before, 2 weeks before, 1 week, and then like 5 days before, 3 days before, 1 day before, and then the day of. So I'll set like 6 reminders. You could do it for every task you write. You can have it text message or email, whatever you choose, and it'll do it that as however many you want. So I get text messages every day of all kinds of stuff, pay credit cards, whatever, you know, whatever it is. Say you just got a phone call. It's just like, hey, we're all out of milk and bread. Oh crap. And then another thing I do is either I'll do that, either I'll send a text message to remind me like around later on when I know I'll be driving home, and I'll get a text message, buy milk and bread, or I don't know where my keys are right now, but I take my car keys and I'll tape a note to my car keys, because I always go for my keys. Always put notes and I attach them to my keys. So every time I reach for my keys, there's a note attached to it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was just gonna leave without that. Like something is really important and stuff. So yeah, I always write notes and attach to my keys. It's another piece of advice I can give you. So basically, if you can make a cold turkey decision to acquire discipline and to just be like, you know, I'm gonna try my best to be disciplined and consistent about this, about what I said. Like, try it out. Those 3 pieces of paper. Maybe you don't need 3 pieces because you don't have too many priorities that you are not forgetting. But for me, I do, and I will forget about them. So like, say it's like file my taxes. Just like several things that I should not forget that I can easily forget, and if I do forget, it'd be not a good thing. That's what I write down there, and yeah. So there goes my alarm. See, but I'm gonna snooze it. I never press dismiss until I do it. So I snooze it. So in 10 minutes, it's gonna go off again until I read my pieces of paper. I don't want to dismiss it, because I'm going to miss an hour of not reading it. And I don't care how many times I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for a while now. I still don't stop. I keep this in my routine because who knows? What if I stop and then I go back to my old ways? So my schedule for the day, again, just to recap, I keep my schedule for the day in my pocket. I keep my priorities that are important, things I want to do this month or something, just as soon as I can, usually within the week or the month, on a separate piece of paper. You can probably put them all on one piece of paper. I keep them on three. By the way, just keeping 3 pieces of paper in your pocket, that's already like practicing discipline. And then 3, a list of motivating things that I have wrote down. And to give you an example of what I'm talking about, I'm going to read you a list of my motivating things that I read. Oh, and on that same piece of paper with all the motivating things that I read, I also have my ideal routine. Okay, so it's like a routine that I eventually want to be into, which is like wake up at 6 a.m., that sort of thing. So here goes what I read, and I actually wrote it under habits. So I just wrote habits, and under it is a bunch of things. So I'm going to read it to you. Stay conscious of the time, and I read this every hour to myself on that third piece of paper. Stay conscious of the time. Keep looking at the time. Say the time out loud even. Really be conscious. Practice discipline with your time. Practice discipline with your time. Throughout the day, dedicate a block of time to something and practice discipline on that 30 minutes straight. I'm sorry, that's like more me. And then make deadlines for everything. Never postpone or miss even one deadline. Like just be like disciplined like that about it. Just don't screw up. Like have a perfect score, a perfect record. Don't ever put one thing off. Well, I hope this doesn't cut me off. I'm gonna tell you if I have to make it. Okay, cool. Aim to be early, not on time, but early. I am a leader and I need to be responsible and accountable. By the way, some of the stuff you're gonna hear Christian and leader in it because I'm a business owner and I'm also a Christian. So, weigh in tasks, prioritize, select, and reject. Don't choose secondary over priority that's screaming for attention. So don't start doing something that's not as important as this really big thing. Someone with ADD, I will avoid at all costs those really big things that seem complicated and hard to do to me. It's better to go for that thing, and then that secondary thing that could probably wait. Even if you don't do it today, it'll probably be all right. But there's always that thing that must be done today no matter what. Start on that thing. That's what this is saying. Do it now. It will never be easier than now. You will lose an advantage if you wait, or you may never even do it. Never for a second give in to clutter. Take care of it now. File that receipt. Throw away that trash. Read that mail. Throw away that note. Be as up to date as possible. Build the habit of staying current. Complete your tasks. Leave nothing opened, nothing halfway. God is molding you into a real man, building this habit of staying current into your subconsciousness so you will automatically be ahead. Do it now is my motto. Never postpone or miss even one thing. You see trash, pick it up. If something sits, it's halfway. Finish it. No clutter. Work out a muscle to the max every day. Take initiation and stay conscious of the need to. Like stay conscious of the need to take initiation. All throughout the day, practice it, demonstrate how a real man works. What I mean right there is like, I lack initiation. My girlfriend has way more initiation than me. I'll be on the phone, even though I know I should go to sleep. I'll stay on the phone with her forever, and she'll have to be the one to be like, "Wow, you should probably get to bed now. It's getting late, or we should get to bed. You know, it's getting late." It's like I might have known that it's getting late, but I don't take the initiation and go, "Yeah, you know what? As fun as it is to talk to you, I should get off the phone." And it's just several examples throughout the day where I don't take initiation where I should. That's something that I really should work on. Another thing is make the best use of my time. I am held responsible for the strategic use of my time. Floss every day. Yeah, make the best use of my time. I am really held responsible for the strategic use of my time. Move fast, do things fast. The only way to actually get all things done in a day is to be quick. Good leaders move fast. Have integrity. Make godly decisions on your own, all throughout the day, with music, with TV, discussion, everything. Do it until it's done. Jesus wouldn't stop halfway. Be consistent. Force myself to be consistent. It is my duty as a man and as a spiritual leader and a business owner. Okay. Um, a good leader is not lazy. To be lazy is to forfeit. Even 1 minute of lazy means you don't really want it. That really motivates me. So that when I'm sitting down and I'm just like, oh, I feel like, because sometimes I'll do really good throughout the day, but when I get home, I just start slowing down. It's like, oh, all I need to do now is just stay with it, man. Don't freaking lose momentum. Go home, take a shower, eat, and go to bed.